Welcome to The Explainer, everyone. Today, we're setting the stage for something absolutely incredible. We aren't just going to sit here and look at stats or schedules. No, we're diving deep into the real character that defines the world's greatest soccer players. I'm talking about the grit, the resilience, the passion. These are those invisible forces that drive a player to literally leave everything on the pitch. So get ready, because the 2026 World Cup is shaping up to be a monumental test of the human spirit, and we are going to break the whole thing down.
Okay, let's dive into this. What does it actually take to capture true World Cup magic? Seriously, is it just raw, unadulterated talent, or is it something way deeper than that? I want you to keep this question in the back of your mind as we frame our entire explainer today around the legendary grit, the undeniable passion, and the frankly arduous journey of these players. Because when a player steps onto the world's biggest stage, with millions of eyes on them, that magic doesn't just happen by accident. It is forged through pure character.
48. That's the magic number. It represents the massive news scale of the 2026 tournament. For the literal first time in the history of the sport, 48 different national teams are bringing their unique character to the global stage, all across the United States, Mexico, and Canada. And what does that mean for us? It means more distinct styles of play, way more underlying national pride, and a whole lot of untold stories of sheer perseverance finally making their way to the pitch.
Section 1. The biggest tournament ever. 104 matches of pure grit.
We're looking at a battleground here that is completely unprecedented in scale. The sheer physical and mental endurance required by the players to navigate a tournament of this size is going to be staggering. So, here's how the new mechanics concisely break down. With 48 teams, we're going to witness 72 group stage games alone. Now, the top 2 teams from each group advance automatically, but here is where a team's true character really comes into play. The 8 best third-place teams also advance to the knockout stage. This expanded format is honestly brilliant because it creates these massive opportunities for underdogs. Even if a team stumbles early on, if they've got the tenacity and the grit to fight for a strong third-place finish, they can still survive the group stage. Literally every single goal, every single minute matters.
And we can already see that fierce competition taking shape in reality. If you look at the early group stage standings, we see those perennial heavyweights totally asserting their dominance. You've got Mexico leading Group A, the USA putting a major exclamation point on Group D, and the defending champions Argentina sitting comfortably atop Group J. Grounding our narrative in these actual standings is a great reminder that while the tournament has expanded, the top-tier teams are bringing an absolutely uncompromising level of focus and execution right from day one.
Section 2. Legends and new contenders. Veterans versus debutants.
So, picture this. On one side of the pitch, we've got the undisputed veterans. You have Cristiano Ronaldo, who is famously known for his obsessive, almost machine-like physical preparation, and he's chasing his 5th World Cup scoring record. No way! And then you have Lionel Messi, defending Argentina's crown with his quiet, almost telepathic ability to just read the pitch. But contrast that quiet genius and sheer discipline with the raw, fiery hunger of the debutantes. We're talking about nations like Cabo Verde, literally the 2nd smallest nation by population to ever qualify, Curaçao, who is bringing this bold new style to the pitch, and Uzbekistan arriving after a super dramatic qualification run. These players are stepping into the spotlight for the very first time, and their sheer determination to prove they belong is going to be absolutely electric to watch.
And hey, speaking of making a mark, listen to this quote. Folarin Balogun scored twice in the first half to put the exclamation point on a perfect night. This perfectly highlights a new era of U.S. men's national team players like Balogun, his audacious, confident character, and let's not forget his bold decision to commit to the U.S. in the first place, is already stamping a massive mark onto the 2026 tournament on home soil. It's exactly that blend of youthful swagger and clinical finishing that shows a team refusing to just rely on past reputations. Instead, they're choosing to aggressively write their own story.
Let's move to Section 3. Conquering the host cities. The battlegrounds.
You know, the culture, the climate, and the wildly passionate fans of these cities are going to seriously test the players and play host to millions of travelers. The cultural backdrops of this tournament add so much flavor to the whole experience. I mean, just imagine the weight of history walking into Mexico City's legendary Estadio Azteca, literally the first stadium ever to host 3 separate World Cups. Or imagine the absolute spectacle of Lionel Messi and the traveling circus descending upon Kansas City. And for the fans making the trip, it's all about tasting Houston's world-famous BBQ at iconic spots like Truth or Killins, or just feeling the electric, truly global energy down at Miami's waterfront FIFA Fan Festival. The character of the host city absolutely bleeds directly into the energy inside the stadium.
Section 4.
the soundtrack of soccer, anthems and chants.
Long before the referee even blows the whistle, the competitive character of these players is fueled by the music of the tournament, and these fan chants are incredibly visceral. Things like "England glory awaits" or "Stars and stripes, feel the fire." Guys, these aren't just background noise. These chants literally physically energize the players on the field. When a player hears tens of thousands of voices roaring in unison, it acts as this massive adrenaline injection. It reinforces their national identity and their fighting spirit right when they need it most.
And the national anthems themselves, they are so rich with history. Take South Africa's anthem, for example. It's this incredibly unique neo-modal hybrid. It actually combines a 19th century hymn with an apartheid-era anthem, starting in one musical key and beautifully finishing in a completely different one. It is such a powerful micro-story of a nation's complex history coming together in unity, sung by the players as a literal testament to their collective character.
And there are just so many surprising traditions across the globe when you really dig into it. Japan's anthem actually features lyrics derived from an ancient Heian period poem, making it one of the oldest in the world. Meanwhile, Spain's Marcha Real and the anthem of Bosnia and Herzegovina have absolutely no words at all. It's just pure instrumental emotion. And then Senegal's anthem directly references strumming koras and striking balafons, really wearing its musical heritage on its sleeve. These highly diverse traditions reflect the deeply unique character of every single nation stepping onto that pitch.
Section 5. Immortalizing the Highlights, the Creator's Guide. So, for the creators out there, how do you capture and share the magic and the character of these players with the rest of the world? Well, understanding the tactical steps to edit World Cup highlights without getting your channel completely terminated by Content ID systems is absolutely crucial. First, you're going to source and download the full match footage. Second, and listen up because this is the golden rule, you have to cut your clips to a maximum of 7 seconds to safely navigate copyright boundaries. And third, intentionally mix up the sequence of the clips from different matches so the automated systems don't flag it as a continuous broadcast. Honestly, it requires meticulous caring and patience from the editor, just like the players on the field.
And finally, you've got to score those epic moments correctly to really match the grit on screen. A big, aggressive play? That needs some hard-hitting trap or hip-hop, like the tracks you'd find in Highlight Tapes Volume 1. If you're doing an in-depth player profile, you probably want the cool, rhythmic Afrobeat and Latin grooves of sports profiles too. And for pure high-stakes action, you bring in the over-the-top dramatic orchestralial tracks from Epic Sports. The right music perfectly complements the character of the soccer highlight you're building.
Which brings us to our final thought. How will you leave your mark on the 2026 World Cup? We've seen the sheer scale of the 48 teams, the legendary veterans, the hungry debutants, and the fiercely passionate sounds of the stadiums. Whether you're traveling as a fan to taste the barbecue in Houston, cheering from your living room sofa, or creating highlight reels for millions of people online, this tournament is a global tapestry of character. Find your role, embrace the grit, and get ready for the greatest show on earth. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.